It's your girl, it's your girl, keeping you up with the world. Always with a smile, walking in a royal style, having convo with some interesting folks. So come hang out with your favorite host. Rockin' with Robin, rockin' with Robin, rockin' with Robin, rockin' with Robin.
Welcome to Rockin' with Robin. I'm Robin. Today I have a very interesting guest, so sit tight. We'll be right back.
Rockin' with Robin, rockin' with Robin, rockin' with Robin.
This portion of Rockin' with Robin is sponsored by PLX, Premium Life Experience. Don't just live life, experience it. Welcome back to Rockin' with Robin. I promise you I have an interesting guest. I have Miss KaRhonda here today. Welcome. Tell the viewers a little bit about yourself.
Well, Robin, my name is KaRhonda Hines. I am a registered nurse. I've been a registered nurse for over 24 years,
Wow.
and nursing is my passion.
What? I mean, I'm like taken away. I'm like, wow, wow, wow. So,
Yes.
what do they mean when they say registered? Like, what is your do's and your don'ts and your can'ts?
So, as a registered nurse, there's certain things that we can do that other nurses, like the LPNs, cannot do.
Okay.
Not that we're better
Right.
than the LPNs. It's just that our schooling gave us a little more education than what the
Okay.
LPN school did.
Okay. Okay.
So we do, a lot of things that the doctors require, a lot of treatments, a lot of things of that nature.
So you can dispense like IV
Yeah.
and all that good stuff. You
Definitely.
can go that far.
Not dispense,
Right.
but as far as administering, because we
Right.
take orders from doctors, we don't
Yes.
give orders.
Okay, that kind of makes sense. Quote,
Yes.
quote, quote. And how long have you been doing that?
Over 24 years, I specialize in home health. Some people may not call home health a
Mhm.
specialty,
Mm-hmm.
but everybody can't do it.
Right,
So I've been a nurse for over 25 years now. In home health,
Okay.
over 20 years.
Okay.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, so when you say home health, that means that you can go into the homes and take care of a patient.
That's right. Yeah.
Elderly, any age, whatever. You just...
Well, I do adults.
Okay.
No pediatrics, no children. That is not my wheelhouse. But adults, yes, and the elderly.
And what are their symptoms?
So it ranges. It may be wound care.
Okay.
It may be education with disease process.
Right.
It may be certain procedures that the nurse has to do in the home,
Right.
so the patient can stay in the home opposed to being in a facility
Yes.
or something of that nature.
Right.
So it's a wide gamut of things that we can do in the home to help educate the patient
Right.
and their family
Right.
on how to take care of themselves.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So how do you deal with them transforming to hospice? Like, I mean, you build a relationship with them.
It
Yeah.
is. It is a challenge when they go on to a hospice.
Right.
In home health, and some of the home health clinicians who do it,
Uh-huh.
we end up having a relationship with the family, right?
Yes.
We almost become family.
Yes.
So as we see them decline
Right.
and their health status is going backwards, meaning
Uh-huh.
they go from adulthood to back to childhood stage to back
Yes.
to infancy,
Mhm.
and then the demise from there. So it is a difficult thing. Me personally,
Uh-huh.
I don't do hospice.
Okay.
That is not my thing, death and dying.
Right.
But for those nurses that do it,
Yes.
my hat goes off to them. So we may transition the patient from home health,
Mhm.
to hospice.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Now, have you heard anyone leaving money in their will or rolling over their estate to the nurses or
That is a hospice
relationships?
thing. They don't do it in home health. But yeah, I haven't heard of any of that. But I take that back to a certain degree. There have been some patients who have expired
Yes.
in home health, and they have had a relationship with the nurse opposed to their family.
Right. Right.
And they have left them money
That's a
and
nice
things of that
money.
nature.
I'm sure.
So,
That's hush hush.
that's around the low.
That's hush. Don't go there. Don't go there. Let that stay right over there.
Right.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I mean, your face brights up like you really enjoy it.
I love home health. I love to educate
Yes.
my patients, family members on how to care for themselves
Mm-hmm.
or how the loved one to care for them. Because a lot of times I know in home health,
Yes.
you could have a patient, an elderly patient who
Right.
has a number of children,
Okay.
and there may be that one that is the caregiver.
Exactly.
Um, that happens more often than not. It is, for me, in my experience, I have seen very rarely where it's been multiple children who are involved.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, it's one, maybe two children
Right.
that take on the gamut of taking care of mom or dad.
Boy, that's a big job. That's a big job.
It is.
That's a big
Very
job.
big responsibility. A lot of caregiver burnout.
Right.
And they need a break. Sometimes
Right.
there are programs where they call respite,
Mm-hmm.
where they can go into a skilled nursing facility or assisted living facility,
Mm-hmm.
and they can have the patient can go in there just to be taken care of for a week, maybe two,
Mm-hmm.
so the patient or the family member can have a break.
Mm.
So it's some programs and things of that nature. The insurance may cover.
That's what I say. Who
something like that.
covers that? So the insurance may cover.
Yeah.
Right,
things
right.
like
So is that an additional plan that we all need to think about adding to our insurance? Like if we get to the point where we need home care.
So, under Medicare, and I'm not an expert
Okay.
by any shape, fashion,
All right.
or form,
Yes.
but under Medicare, home health is a covered service.
Okay.
So, you could get the nurse who comes in to do some education, but when it comes to personal care,
Mm-hmm.
and what I mean by personal care is you have an aide who stays in the home and does housekeeping,
Mm-hmm.
bathe the person, get groceries, that kind of thing.
Right.
That is something that typically is not covered by Medicare.
Okay.
So that's something, if you think in the future you may need that long-term care insurance, something
Yes.
like that.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Right. So we're gonna take a break in a second. I want to go about. I hear a lot of abuse. Like a
Mhm.
lot of elderlies are being abused
Mm.
inside the home and outside the home. So
Yeah.
can we talk about that when we come back?
Certainly.
All right.
Rockin' with Robin, rockin' with Robin, rockin' with Robin.
Venue Space of Atlanta. Arlo is your genie to finding the perfect venue for your special event. Whether you're looking for a mansion or Airbnb or a quaint space, Arlo is your connection. Contact Arlo on Facebook group at Venue Space of Atlanta and let your wish be her command.
You have a toothache but no insurance? No problem. Queen Care Service is the perfect solution for the uninsured or underinsured. Go to queencare.savewithdiscounthealthcare.com to get your affordable discount membership and give your teeth the care it deserves.
Welcome back. I'm Robin with Rockin' with Robin. I'm here with my special guest this evening.
KaRhonda.
Oh, I like the way you say that, KaRhonda. Before we took a break, KaRhonda and I, we were talking about abuse
Yes.
going on in when you do the home health aid. How does that work?
So, with the home health aid portion of it,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a lot of that in home health
Okay.
because there's family members who oversee any aides that come into the home.
Mm-hmm.
That may be more prevalent in a skilled nursing facility, nursing home, things of that nature.
Right.
But we do see family members who get burnt out and they may become abusive.
Okay.
Not intentionally,
Right.
but because they're burnt out,
Mhm.
they may grab mom or dad a little bit
Because
harder.
it's fragile.
They're very, very fragile. As you
Yes.
get older, your skin gets thinner.
Right.
Other disease processes and medications
Okay.
can cause your skin to get thin and
Yes.
fragile.
Yes.
But we do see a lot of caregiver strain and burnout, and
Yes.
they become a little abusive, and they take it out on their loved one.
Wow.
Unfortunately,
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's a bad situation.
It is
a bad
very.
situation. Now, what about on the other end? Do nurses abuse their patients?
I would say in my career, since I've been a nurse, I have not known of it,
Wow.
but I'm sure it does happen.
Right.
Because people are human
Okay.
and life happens, and
Right.
people take their frustrations out on the lesser person.
Right.
But I can't say I've been a witness to it or
Okay.
know of any nurses who've done such.
Okay. Okay. So tell me, I know it's a lot of hours. You're away from
Definitely.
home. So
Exactly.
tell us about how do you handle tumbling your personal life, your wife, mom, how do you handle that?
So, as personally, is you have to find that work-life balance.
Mm.
Raising children, working. I'm no longer a wife,
Oh,
so that's not an issue.
okay.
And my children are adults.
Yes.
So, but when they were younger,
Yes.
yeah, it was a challenge trying to work the long hours and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you figure it out. And like I said, I'm no longer a wife.
Okay.
That is something that was a challenge at the time.
Right.
But so those who can uh, work their life balance, their life balance,
Mm-hmm.
and have a wife and husband and things of that
Mhm.
nature, then yeah, that's
Well, some of that
that's
is some of that not having a husband right now. Does some of that have to do with you working long hours or not being at home?
well.
That's what.
Well, I mean, not
Yes.
I don't feel like it's being nosy or anything like
Yes.
that, but it has a lot to do with it. And you see, I have this book in my hand.
Okay. All right. Tell us
This
about
is
it.
a love story, The Price I Paid, Volume 3. It's an anthology.
Yes.
That's one of those big words for a collaboration book
Yes.
with
Yes.
women that gave their stories and their life stories and things that happened in their life. And I talk about
Okay.
things that happened in the marriage that I was in
Yes.
and how I transitioned out of it
All right.
and how I ended up being where I am.
And
So, and I am happy. So I wrote this book because at the time I was having my own challenges,
Okay.
and I felt like it was therapeutic for me
Yes.
and my mental.
yes.
So as I was writing it and the things that happened with me
Okay.
and to me,
Mm-hmm.
I thought about if I write it,
Right.
then someone who reads it, maybe I may be able to identify with it.
Okay.
And then they come up and have their own therapeutic session, and
Right.
then they transition and do the things that they may need to do. They
Right.
maybe transition out of something that is not conducive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a male bashing
Right.
book.
Right.
I'm in the first chapter,
Okay.
but it's not male bashing.
Okay.
It is just telling you a story of things that has transpired in your life and how you transition out of it.
Wow.
If it's not conducive for you,
Yes.
is in my opinion,
Right.
maybe move past it.
Wow. So when did you feel like, I'm not the only one going through this? There's other women out there going. When did you get to that point?
I got to that point once I removed myself from the marriage.
Yes.
And I had my talk with God.
Okay.
And I had family and friends who also supported me
Yeah, they
and
support you.
encouraged me to write.
Right.
And with all that happening, it was like, just write.
Right.
Write about it.
Right.
Get it out.
Yes.
When
Yes.
you get it out and put it on paper,
Right.
it just seems to be that was my therapy
Right.
at the time.
Right.
And a lot of women and men,
Right.
and it's not male bashing.
Okay.
It
Okay.
is things that has
Yes.
happened in my life that
Yes.
other people can identify with.
Yes.
But
yes.
I got a lot of good feedback
Good.
from the book.
Good.
So
good.
it did what I wanted it to do.
Yeah, I had to do something like that not too long ago. I had to write a letter to two of my siblings.
Mm,
I had to get it out.
yeah,
And sometimes when you sit down, people want to talk about something, you argue, somebody walk away, you don't get it out.
that's right.
I had to dig deep down inside
That's
and
right.
write it down, and I had to give it to them.
That's it.
And that's my way of them absorbing how I felt.
That's right.
And I feel good.
That's right. It's out of you
Yes.
and it's with them now.
Yes.
So you
yes.
can move past that.
Yes. I mean, so good. So, I know you said you got a lot of comments. Like, what were
That's it.
some of the comments?
So I had one young lady who told me, she personally knew me,
Okay.
and she said as I was going through what I was going through in
Yes.
life, she was going through the same
Isn't that
thing.
something?
And it just kind of brought her to
I
tears
know.
because our children were in the same school together. We were neighbors,
Wow.
and it was just we were that close but
Right.
that far apart.
That's right.
And sometimes with the abuse,
Yes.
people don't tend to talk about it. I never did. Not, I just kind of held it in.
Mhm.
I thought that these are things that happen in a marriage, and it'll get better, it'll get
Right.
past it.
Right.
But for me, it didn't.
Right.
Not speaking for everyone, but for my
Yes.
situation, it didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. And you carried it on for a long time.
I did. I was in the relationship for close to 30 years.
So how is that like? Okay, you arguing at night at home, right? Then you got to turn around at 7 o'clock and go to work. So that means you have to leave that at the house.
So for me, I compartmentalize things.
Right.
Mentally, as a nurse, you cannot go in to your job with things on your mind
That's right.
when you're dealing with someone's life.
That's
It's
right.
just that serious.
That's right.
So I had to compartmentalize, meaning I had to take whatever was going on in my life,
Right.
personal life,
Right.
put it in the back of my mind and keep moving
That's a
so
lot.
I can take care of my patients because their life depended on me.
Exactly.
And my license depended on me.
You sure got that right.
It took me a long time to get it and a
Wow.
lot of hard work, and I was not about to let that go.
No.
Not for anything like that. So,
Shucks. And how did you deal with the children when knowing, you're going through something, but then you still have to be that mom? Mom don't close. Mom
No.
24/7.
no, that job is always
No.
there every day.
Every day, all day.
That's right.
How did you deal with that?
So that was a challenge.
Yes.
It was.
Yes.
And when I look back on it, I can see where my children
Mm-hmm.
were damaged.
Yes.
And I didn't recognize
That's right.
the damage that was being done.
That's right.
Which that is, if I don't have any other regrets,
Mhm.
I have that one.
Yeah.
That I did not identify
Yeah.
nor take the proper precautions
Right.
and steps
Right.
to protect their mental health.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Amazing. Kids be watching. They see.
They do.
They be.
That's right.
They be watching and they be seeing
That's right.
everything. So tell us a little bit more about the book. I know we touched on it a little bit, but
Yeah.
is everything we just talked about, is that all?
It is. So it's as you can see, several women are on the
Oh,
cover,
yes.
and
a couple of them.
yeah, beautiful women,
Yes.
and we are all given our stories.
Right.
All stories are not like mine. There
Yes.
are a variety of stories in
Yes.
here.
Yes.
But this book, I feel like, should be in everybody's library,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
It should be there. But you can definitely purchase it.
Okay. Tell us
You
where.
can purchase it on my website.
Yes.
It's www.KaRhondaHines.com. And you can purchase your book, your copy there.
Yes.
It is going to bless you.
Right.
It definitely will.
Mhm.
In addition to this book,
Okay.
I'm also in another anthology.
That's what I'm
Okay.
talking about.
No,
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, all right. We keeping it moving.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
So would you ever like your story to become a movie?
You know what?
Good.
I can see that happening.
Hey, okay.
I can see that happening.
All right. So what we're gonna do is that I need you guys to hold tight. This is Rockin' with Robin, and we'll be right back.
Rockin' with Robin, rockin' with Robin, rockin' with Robin.
She gave him her heart. He gave her his pain. KaRhonda Hines shares with the world of the price she paid in the name of love in Volume 3 of the all-female collaboration book series, A Love Story. Get your copy now at KaRhondaHines.com.
If you would like to be a guest on Rockin' with Robin or become a sponsor, email rockinwithrobin2@gmail.com. Welcome back. I'm Robin. This is Rockin' with Robin. I'm here with my very special guest.
KaRhonda.
Oh, Lord. See, I like the way you say that, KaRhonda. Before we took a break, KaRhonda, I guess we missed a couple of things. So tell me, how has all this affected you financially, mentally, and emotionally?
So that is absolutely what it did. It took a toll on me financially
Yes.
and mentally and emotionally,
Right.
because I did not expect to go through separation or
Right.
divorce.
Okay.
I expected to be in a long-term marriage, and that did not happen. So
No.
it took a toll on me mentally.
Right.
I did not let it affect my job.
Yes.
However, I did have to disclose things with my employer
Right.
because there were some things happening that I just could not handle
Right.
going to work.
Right.
Financially,
Ooh.
look at my eyes.
Whoa.
I rolled them.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Well,
Yeah.
so question: if he was sitting here right now, what would you like to say to him?
Oh, I have nothing to say to him because
Nothing.
yeah, I would have nothing to say.
Nothing at
Everything
all?
has been said.
Everything been said.
And everything has been
So
done.
so it's been closed.
That's closed.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm
That's
done with
beautiful.
that. The
So now
chapter's
you're
closed.
feeling good. Now, are you ready to let somebody else into your life?
Now, Robin.
What? I just asked a question. I mean,
mean,
I mean, I know you've been through a lot. I mean, too. I'm divorced too. But are you ready to accept someone back in? Like, you wrote your book. You said everything. You said now, you know where your mistakes was. So are you ready to get back out there and try again?
so I am in a state of where I'm ready to date.
Oh boy, okay.
I am there, but
Yes.
I have so much happening in my life right
Yes.
now, Robin.
Yes.
I'm taking courses with
Good.
herbalism,
Good.
holistic nursing,
Good.
understanding and educating myself in
Yes.
financial literacy.
Mm-hmm.
So I am so there.
Good.
So
Good.
again, yeah, I'm in the area now where
Yes.
I will date.
Yes.
But life is happening for me.
That's what I'm talking about. Is that a book too?
Oh, that ain't in the book. That'll be in the next.
That'll be next. Okay. Okay. Y'all gotta look out for chapter 4 now. Okay. All righty. All righty. Wow, that's so beautiful. That is so beautiful. I mean, I just see all the happiness like all over your face,
Yes.
and it's beautiful how you are ready to share what you went through with other women out there. And I know a lot of them walking out holding, a lot
A lot of baggage.
of
A
yes.
lot of baggage.
Yes, yes. And you carried a lot. How many children do you have?
I have 3.
You have 3 children.
I got 3 babies.
Oh my.
They're not babies. They're girls.
They are. She have girls.
I have 1 girl. She's
Okay.
a baby,
She's a
and
baby.
my sons. Yeah, my 2
Okay.
sons.
So let's say, for instance, your daughter. How are you how are you gonna guide her into not following your footsteps or making the same mistake that you did?
So I do that now.
Yes.
I educate.
Yes.
I talk about communication. I talk about signs. I talk about understanding
Give me
who the
some.
person
You
is.
got it. You got it. That's right.
Understanding their family,
That's
where they
right.
come from.
That's right.
And the one thing that I ignored
Mhm.
and did not listen to
Yes.
is that gut feeling
That's
that
right.
God gives you.
That's right.
When you know something's not right,
That's
you
right.
may not even see it.
That's right.
It ain't right.
That's right. That's
So I am teaching
Mhm.
her from that aspect
right. Yes.
to pay attention
Right.
and see the signs. Sometimes you don't have to open your mouth; you just have to open your eyes.
That's it. That's it. Very, and it's right there with you.
Yeah.
Easy,
And,
easy.
and I don't teach her that from a negative perspective because I love love, right?
Right.
I love relationships.
Yes.
Everything is not negative.
Right.
But in the event that there is some issues,
Mhm.
pay attention to what's happening around you.
Right.
Because I would love her and my sons to be in healthy, loving relationships.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. So that's very important that women that have daughters, a lot of them don't have that mom and daughter relationship
Yeah.
that needed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially when you don't have a man in the house or a daddy in the house.
Yeah.
So that's why they get so loose out there, huh?
Yeah, it happens like that because a lot of times parents like to be the friend opposed to the parent.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing wrong with being friendly,
Mm-hmm.
but I ain't your friend.
Mm-mm.
I'm your mother,
Mhm.
and I don't like to blur the lines.
Mhm.
So,
So what if she come to you one day and say, "Mom, I'm being physically abused by a man"? What would you tell her?
oh, you don't have to stay. You don't stay. Take that. You don't stay there.
Right.
You move on immediately.
Right.
We don't do abuse.
Right. Right.
We've been raised one time.
Right.
You're not to be raised again. A man does not raise you.
Mm-hmm.
He's to be there to provide and protect you,
Right.
not to abuse you.
Right. Right.
So there would be a whole other conversation that I would have with her. But I've had those talks with her
good
about
good.
abuse because that's no one is should be subjected
Right.
to abuse.
Right.
No one. Physical, emotional.
So what's the difference between physical and mental abuse?
Oh, for me, physical, you may get the abuse, bruises.
Mhm.
You may get a cut scar.
Mm-hmm.
That'll heal.
Right.
A lot of times, mental, it is to me a type of brainwashing
Right.
where it does scar the mind, and
Right.
it takes a long time to
Right.
heal from that
Right.
because it's emotional. It
It is.
stays with you stays in your mind, in your spirit.
Mhm.
It just stays with you until you take the proper precautions
Yes.
to get the healing,
Right.
to get the proper healing.
Right. Right.
So yeah.
Right. So, let me ask you, do you think men go through mental and physical abuse from women?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I've seen it.
Right.
Because and I don't want to make it a man woman thing.
Right.
It is a person thing.
Mhm.
Because people can be controlling
Yes.
and want to control every aspect of their partner.
Right.
And that's not fair.
No.
We're not here to control anybody.
Right.
Love
Right.
and control are two different things, and with that control can come manipulation, toxicity.
Okay.
And in toxicity, to me, there's no room for a relationship if it's toxic.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So you think a woman being abusive, you think that comes from the way she see her mom being raised?
Could very well be that.
Yeah.
It could be that. It could be anything as far as maybe abuse she sustained as a child growing up.
Mhm.
And again, not women or men. It could be across the board. Men and women
Men,
have
yeah.
had past physical, emotional abuse in their childhood
Yes.
that has led them into adulthood, controlling the narrative
Yes.
to not let anybody else abuse them. And
Right.
in that trying to control the narrative, they become the toxic person.
Exactly.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle. It's a cycle. It's a
Yeah.
cycle. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I mean, I really, really enjoyed talking with you. And you shed some light out there. You know what I'm saying? And let everybody know it's real. So tell us where we can reach you again and how we get your book before we go.
You can get my book on my website. It is www.KaRhondaHines.com. www.KaRhondaHines.com. You can find my book there.
Well said. Well, thank you everyone for watching Rockin' with Robin, and I'll see you next time.
Rockin' with Robin. Rockin' with Robin. It's your girl. It's your girl. Keeping you up with the world. Always with a smile. Walking in her own style. Having convo with some interesting folks. So come hang out with your favorite host. Rockin' with